Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, they're holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing, if you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for
I'm not quick enough on the buttons. I think Cellulite Yoga Pants is confused. I just saw, did I just see a message saying I'll be live at 6? I'm early! First time ever! No. We're here, it's 4 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock Pacific, 5, 6, 7 o'clock East. 6? Oh, I saw you edit it. Oh, okay. I don't know, I just saw it. Hi, Rainbow and Sunshine, Lisa Smith, Shane, Cellulite Yoga Pants, Vicky P. You guys, something crazy happened with Zoom today. It wasn't all me. Something happened with the Zoom today. I also don't have a drink. I'm terribly upset about it, Mike. It was Zoom wide? Okay, well, the Zoom wide issue caused us issues, okay? We are going to be watching TPO hearing, and then there was about an hour worth of hearings that had no audio. Or no, sorry, no video. It had audio, no video. Maybe, you know, somebody more talented than I could draw what happened, but not I, said the Paisley. It did. I could tell immediately when it was, when the font was wrong. I knew immediately when the font was wrong. Oh, Judge, could you just hold on a second? Sorry, I'm not ready. Now I'm ready. It's a good time for a med check. It's also a great time, you know, it's Monday. I would love to hear what you're having for dinner today. If you didn't like what you had for dinner, tell me what part of me you wish you had for dinner. I haven't eaten today, if I recall. Oh, damn it, YouTube Daddy, Erica. Thank you for being here. I haven't eaten yet today. I've had coffee, so I broke my fast with cream and sugar, but I haven't eaten anything yet. And, oh, I want to tell you guys something. I am making, coming up this week, not tomorrow because I won't have the ingredients. We're going to make it on Wednesday morning. I'm making homemade SpaghettiOs. Yeah. Imagine. Oh no, we can't do it on Wednesday. We have to do it Friday. Sorry. I have to, these SpaghettiO pastas are coming special order, in the mail. And, we're gonna make a real, actually an Italian dish inspired, by Italy that resembles SpaghettiOs a lot, but is quite different. It's gonna be quite the dish. It's I would say it's ambitious, but exciting. Carol, how are you? Your daughter just asked for SpaghettiOs. So here's the thing, I've never been a SpaghettiOs kind of girl, but I watched a YouTube video the other day of this couple, and no, exactly. So he was showing his Italian wife what SpaghettiOs are. She was aghast. She was not happy with it. And then they proceeded to create this other dish, the one that I'm going to try and replicate, which in the end does resemble a bit of SpaghettiOs, but mostly because of the shape of the pasta. Spoiler alert. And it also includes an eggplant element, which I really like. So anyways, we're going to make that together on Friday. We aren't having members only tonight, Vicky. I have to reset something after that. You ever feel like you're talking to yourself? Like you're sending messages to somebody, but then it's just you're talking to yourself? I feel like that today. That feels like a Monday. It feels like the mail was shut down, including text messages and Gmail or something like that. I don't know. Let's get going. Let's get started. There we are. There's our people. Yeah, look at the font. Hi, Sherry. Look at the font. Also, I have to go pay my gym membership today.
We'll see you back. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Mr. Murphy, they're both for you. I'm sorry. I misunderstood.
I'm sorry.
That's right. There are two cases. Yes. Okay, now you can go. And now one of you can come up and get your copies, and then you're free to go as well. And then Mr. Coker, when the tables are cleared, you can come back up. Sorry about that.
Hi, Lisa.
You're welcome.
Courtney's biking to see the sunset.
So Mr. Coker, now you can come up with Ms.
Thank you, Your Honor. Am I excused?
Yes, of course. I'm sorry. Yes, you are, Mr. Koenig.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Not Brandon.
You're welcome.
LaDuh.
And Ms. Hamilton, well, when the table clears, you can come up and take that table.
Wedding soup. Yes, that's a good recipe. I want to make French onion soup, Mrs. Amy Freeman. That's on the agenda as well. And we're going to be making mushroom ketchup in the next couple weeks as well. An 18th century Judge, I see that look on your face. First of all, don't worry about it. It's delicious. It's a replacement for Worcestershire sauce. And it is delicious. Super easy to make. We've done it on stream before. Instead of watching my video about it, though, I'll watch the Townsend's video about it because it is like 11 minutes long versus my fucking 7-hour video.
So before we get started, my understanding of where we're at here is there's Ms. And is it Brady or Wolf, by the way? Brady. Ms. Brady entered an SOC a while ago over an incident that occurred in 2021.
Correct.
And there's a no contact order that in place where Ms. Hamilton is, or Ms. Brady is not to have any contact or come within 250 feet of Ms. Hamilton. There was some misunderstanding about that, whether or not that affects where she can be, Ms. Brady can be on her own property. I understand there was a hearing last Monday, and it was clarified that although the 250 feet distance restriction exists, that doesn't affect where Ms. Brady, can be on her property, in the sense that if Ms. Hamilton were to come by over the easement, which I think is the underlying issue here, and Ms. Brady just happens to be on next to the line, next to that, maybe 5-10 feet away, that's not a violation of the order, even though she may be within 250 feet. It doesn't affect where she can be on her property. My understanding, there was a hearing on that on Monday. That was all clarified in the sense that that's not a violation of the order in that particular situation. And my greater question is, can that resolve? Because I understand that there was, again, these are just allegations, but in the petition, when Ms. Hamilton would come down, she'd honk the horn saying, hey, get 250 feet away. Well, do I really need to be 250 feet away? Now we don't. Maybe that would eliminate all that. And
last night, I'll tell you guys, Mrs. Amy Freeman just reminded me of something here with her comment about spending hours caramelizing onions. I cleaned my fridge yesterday, and so I had a few items in there. I had the feta cheese. What did we make with the feta cheese? The quiche or something? We made something with feta cheese recently, and I had quite a bit left. And last night I made pasta with mushrooms, onions, and baked feta cheese, but it was like a one pot or one dish item. So I baked the onions, the mushrooms, a whole head of garlic, and the feta in the oven for 25 minutes. With 10 minutes to go on that, I cooked the pasta. I put spinach in it and the pasta and then stirred it up, and it was delicious. No butter, no cream, just the feta cheese. I put oregano on it and olive oil, of course. There was olive oil, but it was delicious. And it was a really easy way to caramelize the onions.
So my question is, and I guess I'll ask you first because you're
Right.
the petitioner. Do we really need to go forward right now that we have an understanding of the parameters of the order, or can we just send you back out there, see how things go, and then if additional problems arise, then you can bring it back?
Yeah, so that's a good question, and that's
Thank
something I looked at this. So the dilemma we have as a petitioner is this, and as this court's aware, it's always somewhat problematic when the court imposes a no contact order in a neighbor situation.
Mhm.
Court, I know, is reluctant typically to do that unless it's absolutely necessary. In this case, this order was not put in place through the civil process, it was put in through the criminal process. What that's done is given Ms. Hamilton license, whether she thinks she can or not, to, and again, the videotape, the evidence we've submitted is pretty clear what she's doing. That is not the activity of someone who's trying to maintain distance. It's not somebody who's trying to maintain copacetic relationship. It's actions of somebody that's trying to instigate, clearly, by her videoing, the honking the horn, the stopping, in spots where so she can see. And that's continued, just so the court's aware. The most recent event occurred just the other night. So we are still prepared to move forward. We would love this to stop, but we believe that Ms. Hamilton's actions, while they might have been in some form under the context or the umbrella of her belief that she could do this, she's intentionally doing things that was what in her mind would put Miss Brady at risk, and then was threatening and yelling, "I'm going to call the police. I'm going to call the police." And that's what she's done. So
Again, Zoom was having widespread issues today. How do we feel about the pea green jacket? Not ideal, very West Coast, Carol. My mother owns one the exact same. It's not my look, but it is very West Coast. I'm going to grab a Coke. I haven't had a Coke to drink today either. Let's drink that.
I do think a significant risk still exists. I'm not convinced that Ms. Hamilton understands the nature of the no contact order. And I think it's likely that she's going to continue to come onto Ms. Brady's property. I think she's going to continue to stop in the driveway and try to instigate either Ms. Brady or her visitors. And again, like I said, there's been some issues recently where, again, I don't expect this to change this. So I think we are asking to move forward today. I understand the court's concerns. I understand the court's thoughts. I understand the court's questions. But this is honestly I've never seen the behavior that I'm seeing from Ms. Hamilton in this case, from somebody who is going out of their way to try to get violations of a no contact order. This is not happening at a grocery store. This is happening at on a driveway that is right next to my client's property. So I do think a no contact order would remain necessary.
Okay, so Ms. Hamilton, again, no, I haven't sworn in anyone yet, and I'm not going to swear you in now. If we proceed to hearing, I will, but what's your general thoughts on, you're the respondent here. What you heard what Mr. Coker has said. You heard my question. Because
I think that there's a half truth that's being presented. Like there's always two sides to both stories.
Sometimes more than
And
that.
yeah,
Jeez, I thought she said Haktua. I was busy putting on my jacket. So this is, I know, it's almost a little hilarious. This is my winter coat. This is the winterest coat I get as a Canadian, and I'm already wearing it. But this is my entire, and it's quite long, but this is my West Coast green coat. Isn't that funny? But I've already worn this multiple times this year already. It's my favorite, and it's quite puffy. This would be not enough in most parts of Canada. This is not enough of a coat, but for where I live, humble brag, Vancouver Island, it's almost overkill. Anyways, I just wanted to show that indeed we all have green jackets of various shades of green. What's the temperature near me right now? It's 61 degrees. It's 61. I don't know. It's because I walk a lot. I mean, I'm walking like, if I go out somewhere, I'm walking. So that's why I wear that. And again, I live on Vancouver Island in, yeah, I don't know. I get it cold. That's the way it is. But I have that coat, and then I have a black raincoat that is just for like rainy season. But you have to wear like a sweater underneath. But like when I go to the gym later today, because I think I'm going to try and go to the gym later, I'll wear that coat for sure. I like to be warm. I love to be warm. That's why I loved Florida. Oh, I love being warm.
so if you look at the evidence that I submitted, it shows that the only time that I have videotaped is when there is a possible violation or there is her harassing me. So there's also her boyfriend videotaping me while I'm just taking my trash can down to the end of my driveway. I come around the corner and he's videotaping me. So it's more of me having a camera readily available because I am a single mom of 3 kids that has to walk 605 feet down a driveway. Anytime I videotaped is when she is doing something to me.
All right, well, we'll swear in your, I've reviewed your, we'll swear in your client there, Mr. Coker, and we'll get underway.
Thank
I
you.
see she looks like she has a number of people with her. And so if you're going to call them as witnesses, we can do that in turn.
I don't anticipate calling them as witnesses.
Okay.
One of Mr. Bliss is present. He has a declaration in there. There's also a different definition from Mark Murphy, but I only anticipate getting some brief testimony from Miss Brady.
Okay. So hang on just a minute. I need to call this case out.
80 degrees, I would love it. Right? Dual videotaping easement arguments of Karens.
Ms. Brady, could you raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You can put your hand down. And go ahead, Mr. So the way this, normally, when people aren't represented by an attorneys, I just have people testify in narrative form. In that Ms. Brady does have an attorney here, I'm going to allow Mr. Coker to ask questions. At the end of that, I'm going to ask you if you have any questions for her, and I want those questions to go through me to her, or if you just want to wait, I'll swear you in, and then I'll hear from your side of the story too. However you want to do it is fine. But in any case, Mr. Coker, you may go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Stacy, you submitted a declaration along with your petition you filed in this matter, correct?
Correct.
And why did you originally file this petition that we're here for today?
Well, because Mrs. Hamilton's behavior keeps escalating as far as.
Did anybody expect that voice to come out of that little green coat? That's got to be like 4 packs a day, right? Holy shit. Wow.
She's harassing me, stalking me. One instant that happened recently, I was walking down from my horse's barn with my dog. She came down the driveway and I was going into my backyard and she stopped on the driveway easement. She was walking, I was walking with my dog to go home and she stopped to videotape me. Why? I wasn't doing anything but just walking from my barn to my house. Another recent was when she came home, honked because she saw me outside, not anywhere near the driveway, honked, allowed her youngest daughter to open the gate. She pulls through, gets out of her car and starts videotaping myself and Mark Murphy.
Is that the video that's in the record that Mr. Murphy took?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then they engaged in a conversation. And the whole time I just stood with my back to her. I did not ask Mark to video. I don't do that because I don't believe in videotaping people all the time when they're just enjoying their property. Another instance, she had videotaped my boyfriend who was on his phone doing some eBay, and she
Creed? Her boyfriend's Creed? Also, she has a boyfriend, and I don't. Whew. I mean, that's a Monday slap in the face. I'll say that. That's a Monday slap in the face.
was walking down the driveway and she stopped to videotape him and was shouting at him. And she has trespassed on our property 3 times. Just recently, it was a package that wasn't even mine that was put at my front door. And I just feel
What are the other 2 times?
Huh?
What are the other 2 times? I saw video of there was video of the.
Oh yeah, the other time, she came to the front door, knocked on the door. Luckily, Howard answered the door and not myself because she was giving us some of our mail that got delivered to her. The very first time she went up by our shop to speak to Howard about the driveway, and Howard goes, "You need to talk to the property owners about whatever maintenance you want to do. We have nothing to do with that." And she proceeded to tell Howard at that time, "I would love to talk to Stacy, but I know I can't because of the order."
I don't know who Howard is.
Oh, sorry.
And there's a declaration from Howard. In the record.
Howard's her boyfriend. Which one is it back here? Who is Howard? Do you think that it's the guy in the black shirt? If it's the guy in the black shirt, I'm actually going to pack it in. I am going to quit YouTube, get a job, and I don't know, maybe that's my problem. And it's Navarre's police videos. It's a widespread zoom issue from the front, or from the top. It's a zoom issue. It happened all day. And I can't fix it. It's not my internet, I promise. Mine's been fucking A-okay since MB was the MVP. But, no, seriously. I'm about, if that is her fucking boyfriend back there, this guy right here, I'm gonna have to call it. I'm like, put some effort in or something. I don't know.
So do you feel like an order is necessary?
Her behavior keeps escalating, as in she's trying to do anything she can to get me to violate the order she has against me. I've had no contact with her in over 2 years at least. I want nothing to do with her. I just want to be left alone. But for some reason, she feels she needs to stop on the driveway whenever she sees us outside and videotape me just being. I could be doing horse chores, washing a car, and I don't even mow my own lawn anymore. in fear of her coming home and trying to entice me to react to her harassment.
And Judge Meyer indicated that we had the order modified, I think a week ago today.
Yes.
Has there been any events since then?
Since last week, no, I know last night, it was just odd behavior, but she came down, took her garbage can down, and proceeded, as she was walking up the driveway, proceeded to pull out her cell phone, went on her video, stuck it back in her pocket, and continued to walk up her driveway as she kept her hand in that pocket.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I go on my phone. If I take the garbage out, first of all, I dress inappropriately a lot at my house. I'm often naked, scantily clad. I like it. It's okay. And I mean, if my neighbors want to like watch what I do all the time, they would notice that I like take garbage out and then get on my phone and fucking my ass might be hanging out. Like there's so many things that could be happening. Maybe these are why I don't have a boyfriend. But again, like she sounds creepier watching her neighbor. That doesn't sound like bad behavior to me.
I'm just assuming, but it was odd behavior. That why would you have your phone out if you're just putting your garbage can out?
I have no further questions.
Do you have any questions you wish to ask Ms. Brady? And if you're going to give your side of the story, then I'm just going to swear you in and I'll hear from you. But you
No,
asked
no.
questions about her, about what she just said.
So she asked the question, or she had stated that,
And again, ma'am, if you're going to
Oh,
rebut
sorry.
what she said, let me
No,
swear
no,
you
I'm
in
sorry.
first. Which would be fine. Could you raise your right hand, please? Raise
can I ask a
your.
question? Oh, yeah, you just
Yeah, I
swear
can
me
ask a
in, so
question.
that
Go
way,
ahead.
yeah. I'll swear in.
Do you swear to affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sure.
Okay, go ahead.
So there was a, I wanted to know, where does her property line start for her property, not her parents' property?
I'm going to object, I guess, to relevance. There's an easement that's
Yeah.
an issue.
And that's not really, that doesn't really matter,
Okay.
because if she lives there and she occupies that area, she's entitled to be there. And so,
That
that's
wasn't
not,
the
it's not
point.
gonna,
Yeah.
you know,
So the judge froze like this. It's not gonna fix. Watch what happens. We're at 132.23 left in this. I'm gonna scroll. I just want to show you guys. Oh, I lied. Fucking shit. Watch. It does happen where it gets stuck at one point. There. That's where I thought we were. Look how long he was like this. Stuck like this for hours. Anyways, 132. Here we go. She's a troublemaker. So am I. God damn it.
Line start for her property, not her parents' property.
I'm gonna 50 feet from the line, to be there, whether it's hers or her parents, and if she's there, and it's not, that's just the way that's gonna work.
So there was, she had brought up that I had approached Howard and that there was a declaration that was submitted and I never received a copy of the declaration of Howard. But the day that she's talking about in regards to me talking to Howard, I pulled up on the side of the easement, which they actually have video footage. So if they're stating that I said and did X, Y, and Z, I had a conversation with him and said, it was right after we had dropped our lawsuit in regards to the harassment that was happening with the easement stuff that was in Superior Court. I believe that was the right court. But I had a conversation saying that I've never asked, and I wasn't talking to Stacy. I asked Howard if I could come talk to him, had a conversation saying, I know the easement instructions states that Both properties are supposed to maintain this. I've noticed that there hasn't been any type of weed eating or mowing done, and I would like to just start amends. And I even had that conversation with their attorney saying, I just, after dropping this, would just like to have peace and live peacefully. And so I said, I would like to be able to help in some way, if I could help mow the lawn or weed eat. And he said, yeah, Ron has hurt his back and he hasn't been able to get to it. So if you're wanting to help with that, go ahead. I left, had no altercation, any like bad blood, no arguments, no nothing. He said, God bless you, thank you. And I walked off the property. The next day, a friend of mine came and weeded and mowed the shared easement. Then talking about the mail packages, there was a package that was delivered right to our address. I walked over, set it down and walked away. I don't know what somebody's
I saw
supposed to,
that.
yeah, I don't know what somebody's supposed to do. Do you just leave mail there? I mean, I didn't even have any confrontation, any talk, whatever. I just put it over there. So anytime that I have had anything, the last altercation that she's talking about me honking, my daughter got out the vehicle. There was somebody next to her, and he ended up doing indecent exposure and shouting at us and pulled his pants down. And that's why the officer got called, and the 250 feet was brought up in regards to that also.
What? Where do these people live that they have room for barns, horses, buildings, houses, and then men indecently exposing themselves? I am fucking confused at this point. I really am. Also, as far as I can tell, she's the defendant. The other lady with the lawyer is the plaintiff, but there's already a 250-foot restriction on the other lady that was done by SOC, which I'm assuming is some sort of consent order. But I don't know what it stands for. MB was asking earlier. So defendant, oh, and Mike was asking, is this cross or testimony? It's a hybrid of both. She's under oath and she is testifying in the narrative. She's supposed to be asking questions. She's not a lawyer.
Because I had minors in the car, I had a conversation with the officers. And anytime that we're having any type of testimonial thing, I mean, even the officer that responded last time said that when they were talking about what happened and this happened, they kept going back and forth on their testimony. And then the declaration and the officer's testimony of the write-up from the day that they came from the case, they conflict with each other. First, she said she wasn't out there, she wasn't doing this, she wasn't doing that, and then her story changes with her declaration, which is up every single time. The other day that she's talking about, that's because they decided to, then the first time, they keep altering the roadway. And when I got out, my vehicle, I was noticing how deep the easement was, like how they had dug the trenches. And I look over and she's laughing and videotaping me. And that's when I started videotaping her. And then an officer came out and responded, and they had over $500 worth of damages to their vehicle. I had to go get my vehicle assessed. It was $460.
When was that?
That was, I believe, January. Carissa Watson.
Of
That was
2024?
of this year, yeah.
Okay. What's the state of the easement now?
It's worse. It keeps changing. They just changed. They moved the boulders. They moved even closer. And the officer, she had submitted in there from the evidence that they put that she's actually pressing charges against the mother now because of the issues with it. I'm court ordered to sell my home, and my real estate attorney, I tried reaching out to her former attorney. He didn't respond. So my real estate agent went and said, we have the house packed up. This was in July.
Court ordered to sell her home? Divorce? Divorce or bankruptcy, I would assume, would be the two reasons for that.
Sorry, rewind. The first time I reached out, I submitted for evidence, but I think it kicked it back because I submitted it wrong. But I emailed Cody Brandstatter, and it was, I believe, around May or June, and I didn't get a response. I let him know that I would be selling my home in July. This would resolve all of these issues if she doesn't want me next to her of her breaking her order. And I submitted an email to him. He didn't respond. I moved forward with packing up my home, had all of the stagers come out, the landscapers, everybody. My real estate agent told me that there was no way that we could list the home. It's a liability. We have to fix this easement. So she contacted them. We were gonna pay to fix the whole.
Objection hearsay, first of all. Second of all, get a new realtor. You can list houses as is. People buy fucking debt, like properties that are not up to snuff all the time. That's not how that works. So I'm calling bullshit on that. Also, who the fuck stages their house before they list it? Tell me that. Why would you pack everything in your house and stage it and then be like, oh shit, they won't list it? I'm sorry. No. Go fuck yourself.
Road, and I said, don't touch it, because last time we fixed it, they dug it up and said, this is our property, you can't touch it, and it became an altercation. So I asked her to reach out. So she reached out. She had a conversation with them. They told her, you touch this road, we will dig it right back up. But if you leave it alone and charge and pay us $7,500, we'll fix it how we want to, and we'll leave it alone. My real estate agent came back and said, I'm sorry, I don't know where to go with this, and I'm sorry you're walking through this, but we can't list the home. So I'm out of compliance with a judge for a divorce. I submitted a declaration for my ex-husband. I submitted multiple declarations about the harassment, that anytime any of my guests come through, they're getting cussed at, they're getting yelled at. She even says in the assault video that I submitted, what, these trenches weren't deep enough for you the first time? How about I get on my tractor and go back and dig it up again? In addition to that, I have her videotaped throwing my trash everywhere. I can't even bring my trash
Okay, so
cans.
ma'am, I'm just
Yeah.
looking about what the, what's been going on lately. I didn't hear anything
Yeah.
about trash, but because you submitted some declarations about the underlying event back in 2021. That's not really what I need to know about. Go ahead.
Yeah, but it's, if she's so worried about harassment and about what I'm doing to her, then why not allow me to move, and you won't even have to deal with me? I've sat here and I've walked out. I'm a ministry leader and I've really had to walk out, love thy neighbor. I've sat here and I have told the courts that I don't want anything but peace, and I want to separate from this. And they're not even allowing me and my kids to leave.
Okay. So, Mr. Coker, do you have any questions of Ms. Hamilton?
I don't.
Okay. Do you have any witnesses to call on her behalf?
On behalf of Ms. Brady?
Ms. Brady,
No
yes.
additional witnesses.
Okay. All right. So I'll
could
hear from you,
respond,
and then I'll
argument.
hear, I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, just it's a brief argument.
Yeah, I'll hear from you. And then, so now I've heard your version of the story. I've heard their version of the story. So I'm going to allow him to argue, and then I'll allow you to respond. But again, we're away from the facts, but anyway, go ahead, Mr. Coker.
Thank you, Your Honor. So obviously the court's seen the record, the court's seen the documents submitted by Ms. Hamilton, and it talks about an easement and issues on an easement and the legality of speed dips or speed bumps or whatever they're doing.
I
out there.
remember that.
Right.
As being,
So, Your
it's
Honor.
not the first instance I've seen something like that, by the
Oh,
way, but
me
go
neither.
ahead.
Yeah, me neither. It's a common theme. But in any event, what we have here is, I think the evidence, and again, I find it somewhat disturbing that we have Miss Hamilton, the court's seen the videos we've submitted. We have this person who's saying, love thy neighbor. She wants peace. The evidence is completely contrary to that position. What we have is very, very, very passive aggressive behavior on the part of the respondent here. She says, oh, all she wants is peace. All she wants is these things. But the court's again seen the video that we have of her.
What's your position on, again, this is, may or may not be related here, but she sounds, she wants to sell this thing, but she can't, given the way they're messing around with the easement. Was there a response to that? I mean, I did. It's kind of a different thing that I've heard.
Yeah. So
I know the easement's the underlying issue here, but
I don't know anything. And I would disagree. I mean, again, if the easement was the foundational issue here, and I think there's been other things that have compounded this. So I'm not aware of any court order or whatever. Maybe it's a divorce thing.
Sounds like it's in a divorce where the house has to be sold.
Right.
And I know you're familiar with that.
Yep. And so as it relates to easements, this court's aware that if I own an easement, if you have an easement across my property, I can put a gate up as long as I give you access. I can put in speed bumps so long as they are reasonable, and whatever that is the legal definition of reasonable. And I can do things to control the use so long as I continue to allow ingress and egress, or whatever the easement is defined for. So what this has turned into, and we've seen the declaration from a sheriff deputy at the time, who's, oh, my car, it's always the car's getting damaged. We could be throwing evidence at everyone else about, they're peeling out in the easement, doing all this stuff, but that's again not why we're here. In terms of whether or not she can't sell the house, I find that suspect at best. I haven't seen anything from a real estate agent that says that. Obviously, I think that my clients would probably love the fact if she moved, quite frankly. They have no desire to keep her there for obvious reasons. So if that's an issue, I don't represent Miss Brady on that particular matter. But I've never heard that a real estate agent would say, well, we can't sell this because of an easement issue related to this. Obviously, if there was an access issue to the property, that'd be different. But I guess if I was going to buy that property, I'd want to know what the heck was going on, and I might look at it, do a little investigation, and see what's going on. I'd probably go meet the folks that the seller has the issue with. But would I expect an easement to prevent the sale of a home? That would surprise me under these circumstances. So, but getting down to this, Your Honor, again, from a passive aggressive standpoint, this is an example of what happens when the courts or the system, or even mistakes made by Miss Brady in the past, give an individual perceived or real power to become a victim. And then you see what happens in this case. What happens when somebody that perceives themselves as a victim does everything they can to try to continue to become a victim and be a victim, and that is go on to the alleged victimizer's property, stop and antagonize the alleged perpetrator. That's harassment. That's unnecessary. It's stalking, the videoing, the honking of the horn. The behavior in that one video, I think, is very telling. It paints a very different picture than what Miss Hamilton portrays today versus what she portrays on any given day at 7 o'clock in the evening during the summertime when she's coming home. So I do think the evidence is sufficient in this case for a protection order be granted in favor of Ms. Brady. And I think it's for the better it's for the better good, because it will prevent Ms. Hamilton from continuing the unnecessary and harassing behavior that she's been exhibiting for the last several months. So we're asking the court to grant the petition.
All right, I'll give you the final word there, Ms. Hamilton.
So I think you were actually the judge the last time. So if we look, what they've brought up in the past is that nothing's happened except for in these last couple months, which that is not the case. My daughters and I have been held in a spot where they're parking in front of us and behind us. They are zip tying a gate shut. They're bolting the gate shut. They are having their.
You've been able to get in and out. You have to get out of the car to do it, but
I have
been
to.
locked out.
I've been locked out. They've pinned They have parked in front of me, they've parked behind, they've done it to my guests. They've zip tied the gate shut, so I had to go and get bolt cutters to be able to cut the gate to get in and out. I've had to call authorities every single time. They've put this big chain around the gate that I couldn't even cut it, and so I'm sitting there trying to struggle. They're talking about having ingress access. I don't get any packages delivered. I submitted that as evidence. EMS vehicles cannot respond to my home. So if he's commenting in regards to the fact that it's a safe place, then I would suggest maybe he try driving over it so he can give a better justification of what it is, because the deputies have given, it's 8 feet wide and I'm supposed to have a 20-foot easement. It is a foot deep, a foot wide of depths. And in addition, they put random deep potholes. So you're like rocking on it. The day that I got served on October 1st, I didn't even get served at my property because the deputy won't even drive up the driveway. They actually taped it to her gate. That's how I found out I was served. So I have people from Instacart that have left messages saying they're going to sue me because they're going to report me to Instacart because this road is horrendous. You have a deputy that's pressing charges because they had over $500 worth of damages to their vehicle on a response to my 911 call because of things that occurred. They're telling their deputies not to drive up because it's causing damage. I have to drive over this every single day. That is why the real estate agent that I set a declaration with said that she cannot even sell this home because it's a liability to anybody that trespasses across that easement. I don't mind paying to fix this easement and getting it done so I can sell my house and leave. We have sat here and been cornered. I've had stuff not been able to get trash serviced. I've had my mailbox plowed over. I've had my gate plowed over. There's 4 years worth of harassment. So to have a phone taken away that I can't record because she can't get caught, then that's on her. She's so scared of being videotaped. Think about the things that her and her family have done to me and my girls. And I'm a single mom of kids by myself.
So I'm ready to rule here. And with regard to, before we start, I'm just going to give,
He's going to go ahead and give the definition of harassment, and then he's going to, yeah, I'll let him do it. I won't even bother. But what do we think? Get your guesses in now. Will he put an order in place or will he not? Will he or won't he? The questions that we have. Also, yeah. Let's see.
some definitions. Harassment, unlawful harassment is defined as a series of acts. Is a knowing and willful course of conduct directed at a specific person that seriously alarms, annoys, harasses, or is such detrimental to such person. Course of conduct is defined as a series of acts. A pattern of conduct composed of a series of acts over a period of time, however short, evidencing continuity of purpose. Mr. Coker, on behalf of Ms. Brady, indicates that this is, use his words, passive aggressive instigating, in the sense that there's some videotaping going on. But it appears to me that based on the evidence, there's video going back and forth. I think people are videoing each other. There's the issue of the horn honking and things of that sort. There's been testimony, well, they came onto our property 3 times. Well, I mean, as far as I can tell, the package, maybe the package wasn't meant for Ms. Brady, but it wasn't meant for Ms. Hamilton either. I don't know what the address on that package was, but and also to deliver mail, which I don't think is particularly offensive. But in order for me to enter an order on behalf of Ms. Brady, I have to find that again, that Ms. Hamilton was engaging in a pattern of harassment. And given the record in front of me, I'm unable to do that. Yeah, these do some things I would suggest, I'm not ordering this, just don't honk your horn. Don't try. And I would really work on eliminating the videotaping, but that's going both ways. People are videoing each other. And, but at this point, I don't find that because some of it's responsive to what she's alleging that Ms. Brady's doing, and these folks have never really gotten along, and that's never going to happen. But for now, I'm not going to enter an order. But I will tell you there, Ms. Hamilton, no one's perfect, but I think you could make some better choices for how you conduct yourself out there that would not, again, I just think everybody needs to ask themselves when they're out there conducting themselves, and I mean everyone, is what I'm doing making things better or making things worse? And that applies to everybody, even the folks there in the back. And so I read that allegation about pulling the pants down and all of that, and I have no idea what actually happened there or not, but or didn't happen. But I mean, it's just, anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to deny the order at this time. But if, that was without prejudice to refile and bring it back if a pattern develops. But that's what I'm going to do here for today.
All right.
Do you understand, though? One thing I do want you to leave here with, Ms. Hamilton, is that 250, that doesn't affect where she can be on property she's allowed to be. So if she's like a foot away from the easement and you drive by, that's not a violation of the order.
It was more.
Okay, I'm telling you, I want you, I don't know what was said in previous orders. I know what you were said on the judge on Monday because I talked to him about it. That's not a violation of the order. I'm telling you that.
Yeah.
And I hope you understand that.
Yeah, no, I understand that now. It was the way it was explained on the sentencing.
I understand that. That was, not to throw anyone under the bus, but that was a pro tem who maybe didn't. That's not something that any of the judges who sit here normally would have done or said, or would have left that courtroom very clear what the parameters of the order were, which I hope you have now.
Yes.
So there's no reason to honk at them if you drive by and she's like near the fence line or near the property. There's no reason for you to do that.
I understand.
Okay. And that's what's going to happen today. And if you want to wait here, you can get copies of this, or you can just get copies off the Thurston County District Court website.
Can I get them here?
What's that?
Can I get?
Yes, you
here,
can.
please?
Give me just a minute.
Here, I'll grab a copy off the website.
Thank you.
And
You may go.
Okay.
Yep.
You
Thank you.
lost. They lost. Green Jacket lost. She's pissed. Look at her. Pissed. There's one for the books. The pro se litigant won. Look at those mom jeans. Classics. Absolute classics. Kimby's got a long journey to church. Friday night church, she gotta leave on Monday night. Bitches, she's dedicated. Okay? Oh my god, my makeup. It's coming off. Fuck. Okay, well. That is a pretty good sign that we done here. Hi, Naybell. Hi, everybody. MPC, thank you so much for the generous super chat. Judge, what are you talking about? Can't hear you. Are they silent? They look like they're talking, but they're not. That lady did leave in a hurry. Well, wouldn't you feel pissed too if you hired a lawyer who was like, yeah, I can get you this, and then they didn't? I think I'd be a little sad too.
So Ms. Cruz, could you come on the Zoom call there for Mr. Kunstler?
Mr. Kunstler, we can't leave now. I was literally about to leave, but somebody's name is Mr. Kunstler.
Leanna Cruz, are you still there?
Cruising for a Kunstler?
And Mr.
I
Kunstler.
apologize. Yes, Your Honor, I am working
Yes.
on my camera. It
Okay.
seems to be lagging. I'll get that up right now.
And so,
You don't want
and
a
then
lagging or a
Mr.
sagging
Graham.
kunstler. I'll tell you that right now. You do not want a lagging or a sagging kunstler at all. Terrible thing to have. Draws attention. Draws attention.
Was Mr. Graham here? He was, I thought.
Yes, Your Honor, I am here.
There you are. So a number of things have been submitted on behalf of Mr. Kunstler. I have not seen them because I think they were just submitted today. And they weren't in the file when I reviewed this file late last week. So I guess, and Ms. Cruz said she's ready to go here today. Do you want to, we can do one of two things here. We can go ahead with a hearing, or I'll give you a chance to, it's only fair you should look at it, and we can be back here. You submitted some declarations also. Is that correct there, Ms. Cruz?
Yes, Your Honor. And
And I haven't seen any of those, but so go ahead, Mr. Graham, what say you? I think it'd be pretty important for you to see these things. I can check and look and see how busy we are next week or the week after.
Yeah, I mean, I want to be respectful of everyone's time, and I know that this takes time for all of us. As far as
Don't worry about my time. I mean, I'm going to be here
as far as
anyway. So I just want to make sure you get a fair hearing. I want you to be able to see what's being submitted here.
It is Leanna. We talked about this earlier. Leanna, honey, your face and bone structure and hair color don't support your eyelashes. It just makes it look like you have a spider on your face. I already talked about I had a spider on my face today. Not metaphorically, a literal fucking spider, okay? I get it, okay? If you are a lawyer and you have enough money, you can get eyelash extensions, but you should get good ones that look natural. Those look like something you buy at the dollar store and apply 6 times the glue. You have to keep putting them back on.
And you have a chance to respond to
I
it.
guess I'm, and this is your court, and I'm not sure whether or not you're willing to rule on the evidence that's already been provided that you have seen.
Well, no, I'm going to have to look at this new stuff. I mean, I'm going to be fair to everyone.
Okay.
I'm going to listen to everyone's. I mean, there's 2 sides to every story. I can't decide a case just on one side.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess then it would appear then you have not also been able to review that. So I don't know how you will be able to move forward today, I guess.
That's my point.
Yeah. Okay.
What's next week look like? Yeah, we'll go 2 weeks. What's 2 weeks look like?
Yes.
And listen, I'm a dollar store makeup girl. There's nothing wrong with that. Everything you see on my face right now is from the dollar store. Okay, I don't do fake lashes because I'm very bad at applying them. It takes practice.
This week. So we're gonna redo. We're gonna do this. Was a temporary was entered. So we're gonna reschedule this for 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then Mr. Kunstler, can you come on the Zoom call, please? Activate your
I
camera.
don't use any. Oh, there's Mr. Kunstler. Kunstler. Oh, exactly what I pictured. That is exactly what I pictured. He looked like Katie9. Do you believe that if you were picturing a man named Mr. Kunstler, that he would look like that? The lashes would look better on him. The lashes would look better on him. Yeah, I said it. Okay. Also, just so you guys are aware, we're not getting this case today. They're resetting it. We've just been ripping on Leanna over here about her lashes. Yeah, they're just too much. Like you can get little lash extensions that are expensive and put in, but they don't look like that. Like you don't want that is like glam, ma'am. Glam, ma'am.
And Your Honor, I've got one quick question. Is there no room for the 21st? I'm flying on the 28th. I can try to see if I can make it work. But if the 21st.
It's pretty full. How
Okay.
about there's like 20 cases on right
Okay.
now.
Um,
So how about the
I will make the
28th?
28th work.
Did y'all hear that?
Is the
Next
28th
Monday.
better than the 21st? Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Oh, the 28th is the problem. I would meant the next week. How about then, November 4th was what I really meant to say.
Your Honor, I would prefer not to push it out that far. I can try to make the 28th work if possible. I'm also flying on the 4th. I will be gone for a week, and those are the 2 days I fly, but I would rather make the 28th work.
You should get your lashes fixed.
What time's your flight?
It is in the afternoon. I'll have to be at the airport in the morning, but I'm gonna make it.
Humble brag, flying internationally. She's got to go to the airport early. You guys are also making me laugh. She's going on vacation. She needs to work on her base tan, although I'm guessing that she is a fake tanner, just like me. That's what I do, lady. I fake tan right before I go on vacation. NPC, you're amazing. Erica got it! Woo!
Work, whether it's me or.
Well, you can remind me, it'll be the 28th. I'll be the judge again. Remind me, we could take your case first.
Okay, great. That would be great. Thank you.
Bam! Hi, like her lashes. Hi, bad scooter.
So the no contact orders were still in place. We'll be back here on the 28th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And look at Zoom just dying, okay? So we're not going to watch the rest of this. Did you guys hear? We have a very busy next Monday. He just said there's 20 cases already set. Listen, the rest of this day, we're going to watch that one tomorrow, I think. You saw that guy. Here he is. We'll watch that tomorrow morning. But listen to how this ended, you guys. I shit you not. We're going to listen to the last 30 seconds of this hearing together because it's what I heard. And first of all, it's like been black for a while and frozen for a while. But let's just listen to the last about 30 seconds of this hearing together and you're going to see why I was a little bit wondering what was going on. Yes, Erica, NPC got that for you.
Get a copy of this. The temporary order that was issued is reissued.
Okay.
And we'll reconvene. Just a second.
If I can get someone to help me move her to the waiting area.
You need to call the sheriffs, get the sheriffs. We'll call someone, sir. We'll call someone from the sheriff's office.
All because of this.
I'm sorry?
If
I can just go get somebody.
Yeah, we'll call security.
And then it ended. Seriously, call security. What a weird ending. Right? What an odd one. So tomorrow we're going to have to think about that. We're going to have to I'm going to have to do a little bit of work tonight to see what this is, if it's worth it. I mean, we did have a paperclip thief in court the other day, if you recall, in the same court. Yes, cliffhanger, that's right. So tomorrow morning, we're going to be back at it. I'm doing 2 shows every day this week. 2 shows every day this week. NPC's got to go, they're called security. 2 shows every day this week. We're going to be cooking in the kitchen in the morning, watching some court, and then we will be back at it again in the evening time, having fun like we always do. Tomorrow morning should be about 10:30. We should make French onion soup, Sherry. Let me think about that. Put it on my agenda. What is already on my list? I've talked about it, but then I sort of retracted it. I can't remember. My brain is a little bit mushy still. I'm still recovering from being sick, but never mind. I know what I'm going to eat tonight. We're making SpaghettiOs this week. That's right. We're going to do that on Friday. Homemade SpaghettiOs, not just opening a can of SpaghettiOs. Tuesday should be grilled cheese sandwiches, Bill. That's a great idea. Good idea, Bill. I really like that. Are you a mayo person or a butter person? MB, we love you. Everybody, we love all of y'all. We love all y'all. Thank you again. You guys are my family. It is Canadian Thanksgiving, and it is indeed joyful for me to be able to spend it with you guys. I really love it. I love all of you in your own little unique ways. I really appreciate it. If you're watching this in the future, go ahead and leave a comment, and I will come back and comment with how much I love you. Yeah, imagine that. Anyways, I am going to try and get back to the gym today. I probably should wear a mask. I don't know. I don't know when it's appropriate these days, but going to give that a shot. We'll be back at it again tomorrow, and yeah, keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. Remember, I love you guys so much. Seriously, actually, that's part of the outro, Paige. You're taking your own lines here, Paisley. Right. Remember, I love you. I'm proud of you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Ways down and ready to ride.